2 years ago, I sent my girlfriend into despair after pulling her from it. I broke her heart after fixing it. I am more than sick. I am disgusted about hearing all of this sleeping around, preaching on the red pill, or even things such as self-improvement. How can self-improvement be something which hurts another person? The advice of sleeping around is a real shame. In red pill and self-improvement, I see a lot of alpha males talk about this, and it's absolutely ridiculous. For there's no soul served in the involvement of another person in the sacred act of intimacy. You're taking from them and they are taking from you things that were meant to be private, things that were meant to be special. And then one day we decide that we want to settle down. But we find that things weren't like in the fairy tales. The fairy tales lied to us. But is that really the case? Is there such a thing as love? Or is it all just a story? Is it all just a fantasy? There is such a thing. But if we desensitize ourselves to it continuously, if we decide that we have more relationships, more girlfriends, more boyfriends, more sex, more sleeping around, more one-night stands, then how are we meant to actually taste the delicacy, right? If we're continuously eating fast food, how are we meant to ever taste normal food and think, oh, this is nice? No, we'll think it's plain boring. We grow desensitized to the things that really matter. We can no longer make love to a partner. We just have mechanical sex. It's a robotical mechanic of lick, into thrust, into splurge, into rest. And that's all that is. It is no longer a melting of the two souls. It is no longer a diffusion of the being, of reality into sheer beatitude. You no longer become one. You no longer find divinity in your act. You no longer have the magic that it's meant to have. But I understand. It gets lonely. And there's a couple of things that come to our head when we see another person enjoying themselves in a relationship. If they're doing it, why can't I do it? You can, of course you can. If they're doing it, maybe I should just do it. I'm losing my time, I'm losing my chances to get with somebody else. What kind of person do you want to end up with? Is it really that important for you to have some physical relief? Some physical... I'm perplexed. It's like we are degrading ourselves to beings of simple pleasure. Is there not something you want more than life than that? Let me tell you about why I broke my first love's heart. Though I loved her at the time when I did it, though I had had many relationships prior already, as had she, I had never felt what I felt with her. This is a story for another day, but I fell in love with her. Not because of vanities of the carnal relationships of, wow, she had a fat ass, wow, she had nice tits, wow, she was really good looking. No, it was because of beautiful characteristics I saw of her, which maybe I didn't recognize in the moment that's what pulled me towards her. But she was a very caring woman and had good material to become a mother. She always looked out for others. She always put others before herself first. And those are beautiful, nurturing values. I may have not thought she makes good mother, but I probably thought that she would make a good spouse. And so became attracted to her, unlike I had before in other immature relationships or immature girls. And unlike I had expected of myself, I was not prepared. Love is actually something quite tough. It requires dedication and it requires a lot of wisdom. It is simple yet complex, and it requires us to be available for it. In our younger years, as men especially, this is also why there's a little bit of an age gap usually in men and women. A little disclaimer, it's not always the case. It can be more of a balanced diet, we both bring in 50%. But the most profound of relationships are those which have polarity. Polarity in which one is south and the other is north. One is yin and the other one is yang. In these relationships, love flows, love surges, incredibly strong. But to achieve this state, you need to be the force that provides, while she is the one that creates. She is a source of energy. She is a source of beauty. She is somebody that is there for you, to be by your side and to create joy and peace in your home, to create your home in itself, to be honest. And you are there to provide for all her needs, not just financially, because that is the shallow and mediocre way of looking at it as a man, but her emotional needs as well. This means give her love, make her feel love, make her feel joy. Don't be just a nice guy. No, that's boring. If you don't give any excitement, that's boring. It doesn't mean be toxic either. Oh my god, it's so complicated. You have to look out for so many things. Yes, well, love is not an easy thing. You need to get it into your mind. A lot of people pretend it is, and this is the problem with self-improvement. Get more girls, get more experience with girls. You don't... Oh god, I'm gonna let go of this because I'm gonna snap it with my gorilla grip. You don't need experience. You don't need any of this. What you do need is to be a real man. A real man that provides. A real man that looks upon the horizon full of passion. A real man that is actually willing to do what it takes. A real man that's willing to take the steps required To become that person that makes her happy, that makes her feel love, excitement, mystery. You gotta be mysterious, you gotta be fun, you gotta be humorous, you gotta be good looking, charming, not physically good looking is not a must, but be charming, right? Have a demeanor that's like, oh my god, he's a well-framed man, he's got good composure, good physique, and he carries himself neatly. Yeah, look at the younger generations. Personally, in this channel, we don't really have young people, but in the younger generations, which consume a lot of, I don't know, things like Hamza or other self-improvement guys are more like, whatever. There's a lot preached about sleeping around or getting experience with women, about your social market value. And it's good to have like the high sex social market value. It is good to be a warrior in a garden, but it is not good to be at a war altogether. It is good to have those things as long as you don't use them for bad. It's like if I were to say, okay, get strong and then beat other people up. No, that's not the point of it. It's all for yourself. Not like how girls wear makeup and it's for themselves. No. It's really for yourself, right? You're doing it for yourself, for your own security and your own way of doing things. I don't do martial arts so that I can go around beat people up. No. When there's a fight, as a matter of fact, I'm the first one to say, yo, guys, let's not do this. It's really weird for me to get in an environment where I get in a altercation like that anyway. But I'll be the first one to always insist, guys, let's not do it. Even though I'm the one that can beat everyone up, right? I'm the one that says, yo, let's move away, let's not start anything. And yes, you talk about it with your friends and it's different. When you talk about it with friends, like, oh my god, I want to beat someone up. But in the reality, you gotta be more mature than that. You gotta take responsibility of things. You gotta say, okay, I have great power, therefore comes great responsibility. Guess what? A lot of these movies always bear great lessons, but we don't heed to them, like the love movies. There's real love, but guess what? Did the Snow White sleep around and go clubbing before she met the charming prince or whatever? What about Cinderella? Were they hoes before that? What about the princes? Were they hoes as well? No, they were gentlemen and they were beautiful, noble ladies. I'm really sick of seeing a double standard where we expect women to be chaste and all this. And us as men, we don't protect our own private parts. I am so fucking sick of it. We need to be better. I don't want, and I don't think we should, rely on women to change the world, as per se. I really do not mean this in a misogynistic, whatever the fuck way. I mean this with all the love and feminism that I have in the world. I really do. I believe women are beautiful creatures which are just infinite in their ability to give energy, which are infinite in their way to give passion. And they're beautiful, beautiful creatures. But we are leaders, and we should act as them. We should not lead if we are not capable of it. But lead in your own home, and then in your own circle, and then in your own workplace, and then in your own city. And scale it if you want. But lead yourself first. Lead your own actions before you start talking to others. Do not be a man that is consuming all of this self-improvement and putting only the worst parts of it into practice. Don't seclude yourself, don't isolate yourself to do things like this. If you isolate yourself, a lot of the words, perhaps even my own, might give you bad advice, and you may do things that aren't good for you. You must never isolate yourself, and you must never do the things which your soul doesn't feel correct about. I know it doesn't feel correct for you to sleep around with these girls. No matter what you tell yourself, you know something about it is wrong. Something about it is telling you this is not something I should be doing. Yet you still don't make the ultimatum of, I'm going to be a good man. A good man that doesn't sleep around with women. A good man that protects his own private parts before deciding that he wants other people to protect their private parts. And I know there are men out there that will take the advantage of your own sacrifice, let's say. But really it's not your own sacrifice. Because he who does wrong to himself more than anything. But your own sacrifice of being virtuous and pious, of being chaste, will be the right thing to do. I know it may be lonely, it may be difficult, it may be tempting to get with other women, especially when you become, better and better, you start becoming more charismatic, you start knowing, acknowledging that you make girls laugh, you make them smile, they are into you. Move away. Find a partner when you know you can stick to it. And you don't have to be rich until you meet her. You will always be blessed throughout the process of creating a family and working. But you must really work. You must really be a man that she will fall in love with and remain that same man. Do not change when you meet a woman, because that would be like lying to them. Start sticking to your values and start being the man that you really are meant to be. I will not tell you very much on how to do that, because you have the answers on yourself. And I don't want you to depend on me too much. Nevertheless, I believe in you. And I believe that you can do what you're meant to be doing. If you have any doubts or there's something you want to talk about, send me a private message on Discord. My DMs are open. Strive to be 1% better every day, and much love.